Welcome back to All Revved Up Motorcycles, and today we're going to take you on a little ride out to the Netherlands, and we're going to be testing the new Ultraviolette F77 Mach 2 Recons. It's one of India's fastest production bikes, so why not come along for the ride, and we'll see you all in Amsterdam.
You are called forward for disembarkation. Passengers who are not travelling in vehicles should assemble on deck 8 by the information office.
we've arrived in Rotterdam. Let me show you around the room we've got. So it's a lovely little room. Huge bed in here. I'll show you around the bathroom. Quite a nice shower. Whole place has got a bankrupt IKEA vibe about it. So there you go, that's the room. Hello there, and we're out in the Netherlands today, and we're going to be test riding the Ultraviolette electric bikes. And here it is, the Ultraviolette F77. Let me give you a little walk around of the bike. All the technical specs will be in the description of the video as well, so take a little look. Today I'm test riding something that feels like it's been beamed straight out of the future. It's the Ultraviolette F77 Mach 2. This is India's fastest production electric motorcycle, and believe me, it's not just about looking good. It's packing serious power, tech and attitude. In this video we'll dive into the tech specs, take it for a proper real-world ride, and talk about why the F77 Mach 2 might just be the future of motorcycling. So the F77 Mach 2 comes in two trims. The Mach 2 Standard and the Mach 2 Recon, which we are looking at this very moment. Okay, let's talk numbers, because the F77 Mach 2 doesn't hold back. So the motor is 30 kilowatts, that's 40.5 horsepower. With 100 Newton meters of torque available instantly. And that's a top speed of 155 kilometers per hour, which is 96 miles per hour. It has a 10.3 kilowatt lithium-ion battery. And that gives you a range up to 323 kilometers. That's 200 miles in ideal conditions. With a charging time, standard 20% to 80% in 3 hours. And on the boost charger, 20% to 80% in under 1 hour. So let's talk about the battery tech. The battery pack itself is aviation grade, designed in-house by Ultraviolette themselves. It's IP67 rated, meaning it's dust proof and water resistant. Removable battery, not here. It's fixed for weight distribution and better handling. So let's get on to the connected tech of this machine. It has a 5-inch TFT dashboard, built-in GPS and 4G connectivity. The ride modes: glide, combat and ballistic. So that's 3 ride modes as well. And this does over-the-air updates, ride analytics, crash alerts and anti-theft geofencing. Let's get on to the lighting. So the whole bike has a full LED setup with auto headlamp with DRLs, and it looks razor sharp. So how does it ride? In one word, instant. The throttle response is completely linear and extremely aggressive when you want it to be. In glide mode, it's smooth and calm, ideal for city commuting. But switch to ballistic mode and this thing feels like a rocket on two wheels. The low end torque just keeps pulling, and the regen braking works like engine braking. Very natural. Suspension setup is sporty but not bone rattling. It's firm, planted, and feels great in corners. All this is due to the 17-inch alloy wheels, upside down front forks and monoshock rear. Also grippy Metzler tyres, and front and rear disc brakes with dual channel ABS. Let's talk about the range and charging. With the Recon variant, real world range is somewhere around about 130 to 150 miles, depending on how you ride. City riding gets you more, thanks to the regen braking. Also, the Ultraviolette does support Type 2 AC connectors, which are common in Europe. So charging isn't really a problem with this bike. So, who is the F77 Mach 2 for? It's for riders who want high performance without petrol. Also tech lovers and anyone looking to future-proof their ride. The Ultraviolette F77 Mach 2 is a serious step forward for electric motorcycles, and it proves that performance and EVs absolutely can go hand in hand. Thanks for joining me on this electrifying ride. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to All Revved Up Motorcycles for more real world reviews, and drop a comment below. Would you go electric with something like the F77 Mach 2? I'd just like to say a massive thank you to Jan and Ethan and all the team at Motormondo Netherlands for the invite to come and test these ultraviolet machines. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.